Relic just released Earth vs. Mars, and it's a complete ghost town. Hardly anyone is playing it. Strategy game fans didn't just ignore it, they never even knew it existed. I don't think this game sucked, but let me tell you why this experiment bombed. Steam reviews have been overall positive on the game. A lot of people have pointed out that it is close to Advance Wars. I think it would be perfect for a mobile form factor gaming device, not really a typical PC game. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the crux of the problem. This genre of the turn-based strategy Advance Wars clone is not huge on the PC. Relic, under their small experimental game dev label Relic Labs, made the error in thinking PC gamers might like this game. The few that enjoy Advance Wars did, and that's about it. I just don't think there were enough people who cared about such a game. This does not account for the whole failure of the game though. Earth vs. Mars is not a very complex game. The missions are pretty simple. You have this rock, paper, scissors type units with hard counters. There is some advantage to forested tiles and higher ground, not as impactful as a proper war game, but a slight advantage, sure. It's still very much about unit counters. But the main cool idea of Earth vs. Mars is the Splicotron. It's a device that lets you mix and match the DNA of creatures onto your soldiers to create mutated super soldiers. Think the island of Dr. Moreau or Relic's old RTS Impossible Creatures. What I like about this Splicotron feature is it allows for a huge variety of units, because you can get down to the details of, like, I want the hand to be from a cheetah, and instead of legs I want wings from a fly, I want the head of a cheetah. You can mix and match different body parts, not just mix two creatures together, and the different parts from different creatures give you different stat attributes and special abilities. This is a pretty similar system they had in Impossible Creatures, so it's not like it's really new territory for Relic at all. The reality of releasing games today is that a good game does not always guarantee good sales. Unfortunately, Relic didn't see fit to actually market the game. Why aren't there any reviews for this game? Why didn't we get any streamers doing sponsored streams of it? No sponsored content on YouTube. Apologies if you have come across them, but I certainly didn't. This basically means the game is absolutely invisible to the biggest fear of strategy game audience. I have two theories about this. Perhaps Relic looks at this Relic Labs initiative as making these small indie spirit games with very little marketing power behind them. They want the idea to sell itself to gamers who love the ideas or the games that come out of this. Now, I have my doubts about this theory because I don't think Relic is so out of touch with the video game market, especially on PC and on Steam. The other theory I have is that they would have known. They would have done surveys whether the game or the idea is exciting and kind of figured it wasn't going to be a hit, maybe later on into the development. If you look at more recent releases like Manor Lords or Against the Storm, those are games that had huge excitement behind their releases. People genuinely liked the idea of those games. But for Relic's Earth vs. Mars, it was a bit of a tepid reaction. So they just released what they were working on and didn't want to spend more on it. It's just that simple. That is a possibility. I don't think the idea of Relic Labs making small indie spirit strategy games is a bad idea. I think this goes towards supporting their vision that was outlined by their CEO when Relic left Sega and became independent. Justin Dowdeswell, the CEO, said Relic was going to do these things. They were going to support their existing games like Company of Heroes 3, which is getting patches and DLCs to this day. Speaking of which, I really should jump back in and check out the state of that game. I heard it's improved. And also, they were going to revive and remaster their old classics, which they have done with Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War Definitive Edition. Relic was also going to continue making big games like Company of Heroes and such. While that is being worked on, they want to work on smaller budget games under this Relic Lab, which according to the CEO would be developing games around the 1 to 2 year time frame. The idea here is they would be developing a few smaller games that would help support the studio while the big title is being worked on to make up for the lack of new games. If Earth vs Mars really took 1 year to develop, I don't think the current player count is a good signal of success, however you look at it. They misjudged things somewhere along the way. For these experiments to work, they need to have something exciting in them, an idea that would pique people's interest. People need to get excited the first time they hear your idea. Relic needs to be more critical about these ideas they plan to develop and not do another Earth vs Mars. This joins Dawn of War 3 in Relic's cabinet of seemed like a good idea at the time. At least Dawn of War 3 had a player base to disappoint. Anyway, have you played this game? What did you think of it? You probably have not played the game, I'm guessing, but what did you think about the idea of the game? Okay, I want you to tell me in the comments below, what game would you want Relic to work on next? A remaster of another classic? They've got Impossible Creatures. I have a feeling that might be their next remaster. Or maybe they'll announce a big new RTS? Sound off in the comments. I did a video about the best and worst Warhammer 40k Dawn of War game from Relic since the fourth one is being developed by a different developer. Go check out this video over here. Thanks for watching and farewell noble friends.